We need to talk about the Somali IQ levels because the more people are being introduced to them, the more people are questioning if these people are dumber than a sack of rocks. This is not AI. And Grum's sharing it from End Wokeness. Let's just listen to what this Somalian has to say here.
Um, so I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You
Did did that just happen? Like, if this were a Saturday Night Live skit, I'd be like, it's so dumb because there's no way people would ever even do something like that. They would never say it and then say it again the wrong way. That's not even funny because it's not even realistic. Yet here we are, and it happened.
and it's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really
She talks like one of those sweet high valley girls too.
see, like, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice.
Look at this guy cringing behind her. I just noticed that. I've seen this clip like 7 times today. First time noticing him cringing. Watch his face.
People don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but
He's like,
that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but
that happened. I don't know how that happened, but that happened. Apparently, being Somalian is more than just bananas and rice. It's actually bananas and rice. The grok encapsulating Somali American awkward banana and rice metaphor draws mockery. In a 45-second clip from a St. Paul press conference, 23-year-old Nazra Ahmed described Somali American culture as a fusion, like the traditional dish of bananas with rice, amid complaints of ICE racial profiling. Posted by End Wokeness, the video gained nearly 20,000 likes and thousands of replies, with critics like Mario Nawfal questioning it and Nick Sorter making harsh jokes tying it into Minnesota's Somali community tensions. Broader backlash references fraud allegations in Somali-run child care centers that allegedly misused up to $250 million in state funds. These people were just being used by Tim Walz and Mayor Frey as cattle to push around and paying them off, letting them send the money back to Somalia, and everyone was happy. The perfect crime. Though no link to Ahmed exists, her full speech expressed pride in her blended heritage, but the clip became shorthand for debates on integration and culture. So I went to look for some more information on the IQ of Somalis because I got to be honest, when I listened to her talk, she sounded like she was retarded. And maybe she is. I don't think she technically is, though. I think she's actually just Somalian. Is that awful to say? Normally, if you don't research it, that would sound awful to say. But when you do research it, what is the average IQ of Somalia? There isn't a reliable, widely accepted IQ of Somalia number. However, the figure you'll most likely see cited is 68, sometimes 67, which traces back to older national IQ datasets associated. That said, those country-level IQ lists are heavily criticized. Of course they are, because they don't want people to know that these people are actually retarded. So I said, what is considered an IQ for a highly functioning special needs or lightly mentally retarded? Here's the standard way to find clinically. Mild intellectual disability, IQ range 50 to 70. Somalian average IQ, meaning 50% of the people in Somalia are dumber than mildly retarded. These are facts. Borderline intellectually functioning is actually smarter than a Somalian. What's the average IQ for the USA? Short answer, for the USA, average IQ is about 100. In case you're wondering, just to compare the intellects of people like this lady here.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice.
Palito Rican had some fun with this one.
It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing.
Today, Junior.
And also, Jussie Smollett.
And I see the attacker masked, and he said, "This MAGA country punches me right in the face."
Benny Johnson quote tweeting it. Don Lemon. It's turning into its own thing here. So I dove into a little further because I'm like, now I'm like full on curious about this like lack of intelligence from Somalians thing. Media Matters, Daily Wire's Matt Walsh. There's a lot of inbreeding in Somalia, which affects IQ.
First of all, I mean, if you really want to play this game, Ilhan, you come from Somalia and you're saying that Americans are stupid. You know what the average IQ in Somalia is? Take a guess. It's 68. The average IQ is 68. And now that estimate comes from a study that was done in the early 2000s, I think. And other studies have tried to debunk it. I don't think any of them have successfully, because it's the kind of thing that, if anyone...
Well, that's the thing. They're trying to debunk it because they don't want people to know that there are entire nations of just retarded people in this world. Because apparently that's like racist or whatever. It's like, no, they're just really dumb. Like, don't try to explain it away. They're just dumb.
One tries to study this and measure it, you're going to have the mass of mainstream science descending and saying, no, we can't. That's not allowed.
Can't say that.
That has to be not true. It literally has to be. We can't allow that to be true. So there have been a lot of attempts to debunk this, none of them successfully. But it also, when you hear that Somalia, the average IQ is 68, it tracks. It tracks with what we know about Somalia.
And I think it's important for people to be mindful of this, to understand where they're coming from, because the reality is they're just not bright enough to think on the same level as you do. So I almost feel like it's important to call out how retarded they are for additional empathy for them, but by no means grant them any kind of benefit of doubt with whatever the fuck they're saying. Always assume the worst and that it's going to be something very underhanded, because that's typically what I've been seeing out of Minnesota.
If you didn't know anything about Somalia, you never heard of it before, but I just told you that, there's this country called Somalia and the average IQ is 68, you would make a lot of assumptions about what the country must be like. Mm-hmm. And in Somalia's case, all of those assumptions would turn out to be true.
Inbreeding, lots of inbreeding.
Somalia is one of the most dangerous and violent countries in the world. Mm-hmm. So one of the poorest countries in the world. The per capita GDP in Somalia is like $600.
Yikes.
In the US, it's $75,000, just as a comparison. Somalia is not a functioning society. It barely even has paved roads. It is a failed state. And by the way, speaking of the 68 IQ, one of the reasons, undoubtedly, one of the reasons for that IQ is the inbreeding in the country. There's a lot of inbreeding in Somalia, which affects IQ. So there's another cultural highlight for you.
It's super sad, really, at the end of the day. It's like depressing, because inbred children are born typically with many physical disabilities in addition to mental disabilities. And they go through life with a massive struggle. And this is going to be in a country with very minimal health care as well. It's It's depressing as fuck when you think about it. But at the same time, bringing those people and trying to integrate them into a established functioning society isn't going to just magically make them work as like a cog in the gear in America. It's like, no, that's throwing a wrench into everything and fucking it all up. This whole article, I was reading it earlier today. It's fascinating, talking about the problems with trying to integrate with Somalia, the lack of intelligence of the average people there. And how dare people talk facts? How dare people bring it up? Like it's almost like one of those things you're not allowed. It's taboo. You're not allowed to say it. Why? If it's reality, why can't you say it? They're retarded. It's reality. What do you want to say about it? Why would you protect that and say no, they're not? Like they are. It's, I think, doing a disservice and disinformation to try to say these people are on the same mental level as anyone else. They're not. But anyways, I'll leave that there.